Serb enemies like to tell Serbs to go back to Iran. Why should Serbs go to Iran? There is a theory about Iranian origin of Serbs. As usual, this theory cannot be proven or disproven. I will discuss this theory and give my analysis. Ancient authors like Pliny the Younger and Ptolemy mention a tribe called Serboi. They both lived in 2nd century AD. According to them, Serboi were a Sarmatian tribe. The Sarmatians were Iranian equestrian nomadic people. They first appear in 3rd century BC and disappear in 4th century AD. This means they are gone from historical sources, but it doesn't guarantee that they were extinct. Sarmatian tribe Serboi could have been assimilated, or they changed their name. Or they could have moved to the Balkans and are now known as Serbs. What do we know about Sarmatian Serboi? They lived between foothills of the Caucasus and the Volga. Their name is also spelled Serbi and Sirbi in different sources. In this theory, tribe Horoati are in fact Croats. In Serbo-Croatian language, Croats are called Hrvati. Horoati, Hrvati. Horoati and Serboi fled a Hunnic invasion and moved to southern Poland and southeast Germany. They were assimilated by Slavs but kept their names Horoati and Serboi. And then they moved to the Balkans. Guess we're doomed to be neighbors. What do we actually know about the origin of Balkan Serbs? Medieval Serbs left no written account of their origin or of their homeland. Verified Serbian history begins in 7th century AD when Serbs moved to the Balkans. This means that Serbs existed before the 7th century. The only source that talks about this is the Administrando Imperio, English on the governance of the empire. The author was Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII. The manuscript was made between 984 and 952. Constantine VII mentions many tribes that have dealings with Byzantine Empire. Usually historians compare several sources to confirm their accuracy. If something is mentioned in several sources, then it must be true. In case of early Serbian history, we only have one source, the Administrando Imperio. One has to choose to believe the source or not to believe. I choose to believe because Constantine VII had no reason to lie about Serbs. Constantine VII says that Serb homeland was named Bojki. Half of Serbs remained in Bojki, while the rest moved to the Balkans. Unfortunately, Constantine VII doesn't mention where Bojki was. There are 3 theories about where Bojki was: Ukraine, Germany, Czech Republic. The theory about Czech Republic is the thinnest. Some scholars find similarities between the names Bohemia, medieval name of Czech Republic, and Bojki. Personally, I don't see how Bohemia and Bojki are similar. Some find similarities between Czech and Serb languages and traditions, but Serbs and Czechs are both Slavs, which means all similarities are expected. Up until recently, Serb scholars favored the Ukrainian theory. There is an ethnic group called Boykos living in Ukraine. Geographically speaking, Ukraine and Serbia are very close. Moving from Ukraine to Serbia was always possible. This would explain why there are no more sources about the move. Because the move wasn't extreme. Now, Serb scholars favor the German theory. In Germany, there is a Slavic minority called Serbs. Today, there are about 80,000 Serbs in Germany. In their language, Serbs call themselves Serbia and Serbi. Serbs use the name South Serbs for Balkan Serbs. In return, Balkan Serbs call Serbs Lusatian Serbs, Serbian Lužički Srbi. Historical sources mention Dervan, ruler of Serbs, who had two sons that divided his people. This would confirm what Constantine VII said about half of Serbs staying in their homeland. There are very few similarities between Serbs and Serbs today, but this could be explained by log separation. None of these theories is confirmed beyond reasonable doubt. What do I think? All these theories, including the Sarmatian, could be connected without contradicting one another. Sarmatian Serboi moved to Ukraine, and then from Ukraine they moved to Germany. And from Germany they moved to the Balkans. How probable is this? Sarmatian Serboi were equestrian nomads, so I would expect them to move around. The triangle Ukraine-Germany-Serbia is not particularly big. Equestrian nomads would move easily. Are there more evidence of Sarmatian origin of Serbs? Serbian language has some Iranian Persian words. The most notable is the word Bog, which means God. The word God is one of the most important words in every language. Theory is that Serbs wouldn't adopt foreign word for God. This means that Bog was a Serbian word from the beginning. Since the word Bog has Iranian Persian origin, then Serbs also have the same origin. But all Slavs use the word Bog. The word Bog is Proto-Slavic. This would mean that all Slavs have Iranian Persian origin. Far-right Serbs believe that Serbs were the oldest nation and that all Slavs originate from Serbs. Slavs are first mentioned in 6th century AD. Sarmatian tribes vanish from sources few centuries before Slavs appear. Theoretically speaking, Slavs could originate from Sarmatians. Or Sarmatians went through Slavicization after they moved from the Caucasus. Serbs are Slavs now, but could have been Slavicized before or even after coming to the Balkans. There are no historical sources and anything is possible. How do I feel about Iranian theory? I am not offended by this theory. We are talking about things that happened approximately 1900 years ago. No one can trace their family trees to that era. I could have Viking, German, Celtic ancestors. Why not Iranian Persian too? People in Europe always mixed and there is no blood purity. Fun fact, during 1990s Croats liked to brag about their Iranian origin because they didn't want to be Slavs. Far-right Croats claimed that Croatia shouldn't be part of Yugoslavia, the land of South Slavs, since they are not Slavs. Nowadays, Croats are less enthusiastic about Iranian theory. On the other hand, in Serbia, the theory about Iranian origin was never mainstream. Scholars don't reject it, but don't embrace it either. Whatever the truth was, I can tell you one thing. Serbs are staying in the Balkans, and our enemies should learn to cope with it.